I don't know about you, but every once in a while, I blow a sales presentation. I'm going to show you how to grip that situation from the jaws of defeat and try to pull it back to a point where you can actually close the deal. Hey everyone, are you new here? If so, click the bell, give this a little thumbs up, and feel special so that you know first when videos come out. If you've been here before, welcome back. Now, no matter how good you are at sales, every once in a while, you're gonna blow an opportunity. It's inevitable. You're gonna tell a joke that falls flat. You're gonna misread the cues of the prospect. Maybe you misunderstand or misinterpret trigger points that they share. Maybe you do something that rubs them the wrong way. You misunderstand their decision process, don't understand budget. They feel that you're moving too slow or too fast. All of these things can happen. And normally, these things happen with someone that you're quite interested in. You know, if it's a small prospect or someone that you're not sure, you might just let a bit of a faux pas on your part slide off of your back. But normally the screw-ups happen with somebody that you really want to do business with. So the question is, what do you do when you step in the doo-doo? Most people hang their head low, right? They feel bad about themselves. They become Eeyore. Oh, wow. They go home, climb into bed, turn on Netflix, pull the covers over their face, and have a pity party. And then, of course, you get the critic in your head telling yourself that you're an idiot, you're stupid, you misread the situation, you blew it, why do you always do this? All of those shitty ideas pop into your head and you continue to beat yourself up over the situation. If you don't catch yourself, you're gonna find yourself registering for hot yoga, eating vegan dinners, and reading the Odyssey in classic Greek. Or the other option is to follow my 5-step process for when I step in the poo-poo on how I try to grab that opportunity back and fix it. Does it always work? No. Does it create an opportunity for you to engage that prospect in the future and tidy up the relationship?
Yes, it does.
Sometimes you get another swing at the business. If you don't, you could get a swing at future business if you manage it properly. Let's jump into step 1. When things are going off the rails, don't continue to feed the machine. If things are going sideways, it's okay for you to do a hard stop and to look at things objectively and openly with the person that you're sitting with. In the video I did about negotiations, which I'll link at the end of this video, plus I'll put up here, I talk about there only being 2 real outcomes that we want from a negotiation. A win-win, where we're both happy, or a no outcome, where we decide not to do business. If I see things going off the tracks with a prospect, I immediately hit the brakes and check in with them. Here's something that I might say when I see that happening. Can I put a quick pause into what's happening right now? I'm picking up that this might not be going the way you want it to. And I want us to pretend, if we can for a minute, that we're old friends, where we trust each other and we can be honest with each other. What's working in this conversation for you and what isn't? I want to make sure that this experience, this conversation is going the way we both want it to. And if it's not, I'm totally okay with us finishing with it and parting ways. If you're feeling that we may not be the solution that you're looking for, I'm happy to point you in the right direction. Now, sometimes when you're that honest, they'll tell you. Other times they won't. If it's something that you think you can fix and you want to, do it. But if that part of you, and you know what I'm talking about, that intuition, if that part tells you that this deal's probably not going to go anywhere, feel free to refer them out. And in the future, you might want to revisit the way that you're qualifying prospects to find people that are a better fit. So step 2 is the situation where you do your presentation or your engagement, and in hindsight, when you're leaving the room, they say to you something like, yeah, send us a proposal, or we'd be interested in a quote. You know right then if the business is likely to happen or not. So I don't want you to write a proposal, and I don't want you to send a quote. People will happily waste your time on business that they don't intend to do. Instead, what I want you to invest your time in is to do a post-mortem on that meeting. What went well? What didn't? When did it go off the tracks? Why do you think it went off the tracks? Bad fit for them? You were a bad fit? What was the catch? The quicker you do this to the situation happening, the more insight you're going to have. And then once you have identified what the issue is, decide if it's something that you can and want to fix. Is this the type of client you want to work with? Is there a better person for them to be working with? And so on. Once you determine what the problem is, then you're better positioned to address it. If you think there's somebody better to service them or a better fit, refer them out rather than writing out a proposal or quoting. The third step is after you've done that post-mortem and assuming that on paper, the relationship still makes sense. It wasn't a personality issue. It wasn't a pricing issue, maybe not an expectation issue, but just something didn't sit right. Again, before writing a proposal or sending in a quote, I want you to put on your big boy or big girl pants and call the prospect. This is what separates out gladiators from wannabe gladiators, is that we clean up our shit. I would call them and say, hey, listen, yesterday's presentation or call didn't really go the way I wanted it to, and I'm wondering if you felt the same way. I think this is where it went off the rails, and I think here's how we can get it back on if you're open to it. Here's what I'm thinking for a different approach to get us a different outcome that we would both be happy with. If they say yes, then you execute on that new strategy. If they say no, thank them for their time and move on. Some things cannot be salvaged, but most can. Phoning the prospect rather than email or anything wimpy like that will make the difference between if you can pull it back or if it's lost for good. Now, the fourth step is a scenario where we're putting the situation on the other foot. You have a good meeting with them from their point of view, but something in your gut says, I don't really want to work with this client, right? Something that they did, something that they said, something that they referenced, some little part of your spidey sense has told you this is going to be a problematic account or a client. Here is how you brush off that prospect in a respectful way and find them a better fitting home than you. Here's what I would say, and again, I would do it by phone, not by email. Hey Bob, I wanted to thank you for our meeting yesterday. Upon reflection, I don't think that we are the right fit for what you need to have happen. I've taken it upon myself to come up with other options for you, which I can email after the call. Thanks for your time and best wishes moving forward. Then email them over the other options that they have, right? Competition to you or, other solutions, and then be on your way. Remember that in business, you always want to leave people better than you found them, even with prospects that you don't want to move forward with. And the fifth point is a situation where you blow it so bad that you can't even get them on the phone. Here is a way for you just to finish the loop in that relationship and then be able to move on. I want you to go back to the handwritten card. Normally, after we've met a prospect, we would send them a handwritten card, link to that video up here. But a handwritten card is also a good way to close a prospect that didn't go well. Once you have written out the card and put it in the mail, you can let it go. Some of those people will come back after they get the card. The card is magical. Here's what you might write in that handwritten note. Hey Deb, I didn't like the way that presentation went, and I believe you felt the same way. I'm going to review our process and see what we might be able to do better in the future. I'd welcome any feedback you might be comfortable sharing, and I hope I get a chance to make it up to you in the future. Best, Chris. And that's that. You can let it go. You reviewed what didn't happen, which is in step 2, your post-mortem. And then when you know better, you can do better. Now, here's a bonus tip. Almost everybody likes a story of redemption. A super majority of people will give you a mulligan, but most people who screw up hang their head in shame, go to bed, put on Netflix, and hide like a little rabbit. You have to have the courage to address your mistakes head on, or else you are likely to repeat them over and over again. Anyway, I hope that helps when you find yourself in that situation. I know I do a couple of times every year. I find that this situation happens and I have to do a little tidying. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and feel free to share the video with any of your colleagues or friends that might be struggling with messing up on a sales presentation. This process can really be helpful at grabbing back that opportunity and closing the business. Remember, gladiators eat first and they clean up after themselves. I'll see you in the next video.